Welcome viewers to round 8 of the EKS, which is taking place here today at Buckmore Park Kart Circuit, located in Chatham. This is an iconic circuit built way back when in 1963 by the Royal School of Military Engineering, and it is a stalwart of the British karting calendar. You join us in this video for Split 2 Race 1. This is the first race of the day, and we've got Adam Barras starting on pole position for the first time in the EKS alongside his good friend Miles Harding, and this is Miles' best ever qualifying 2 in the EKS, starting in second place. Daniel Archibald is making his EKS debut today, and he's starting up in P3 alongside Adam Thompson, with Chris O'Connell and Vince-Odozi on row 3. Those two both had a very good qualifying session up on row 3. Rajkula and Chrissy Harding make it an all-female row 4, with Aidan Weller and Kieran Hyde-Moody then starting together on row 5 ahead of Barney Williams and Charlie Jackson on the 6th row. Harry Power is then down in 13th position alongside his teammate Harvey Newton. Both of those will be hoping for good results today racing in the junior class, with Mark O'Grady and Yachi Lowe then starting together on row 8 in 15th and 16th place respectively. Troy Fraser of Gunnagle is starting in at P17 alongside Stuart White, and Stuart making his debut today in the EKS. So is Liam Healy starting in 19th place ahead of Archie Prattley, with then Andy Laister and Hugh Morriton together on row 11, and Shankar Shan and Henry Walter round out the grid starting all the way back on row 12.
So we've got a standing start once again for the longest race in the EKS main championship history. 20 minutes of racing ahead of us, and it's Adam Barras on pole position. There is the shout. We are ready to get underway, and it is lights out and away we go. And look at that, a fantastic start from the second row of the grid as Adam Thompson looks to go around the outside line as we go down into Conways and sweep into the lead of the race. He's not quite able to do so, as actually we do have a change of the lead at the very start of this one. I believe it is Daniel Archibald into the lead of the race. Adam Thompson filters through into second position. Adam Barras losing out in the first few corners of this one, with Miles Harding also not having the greatest of starts as we make our way through the S's. Further behind, we'll run on board with Rajkula very briefly as the field make their way through. She's just been overtaken by Mark O'Grady as they make their way now down. We've got a spinner straight away in this one, Luke.
Yeah, that's a takeout there by Harry Power, unfortunately, on Miles Harding, and he has actually now received a 30-second penalty for that incident. But now as we ride live on board with Harry Power, he's now running up in P6 behind his teammates Harvey Newton. These two races today for the White Arrow Warriors, both of them making their EKS debut today. You can see just further behind as well, we've got Rajkula. She's now running in P12. She's got a good start to this race. She's got Mark O'Grady right in front of her, then Barney Williams, the whole train of karts in front of her. In fact, as you can see, I think that's a move up the inside there by Chris O'Connell. He's got a brand new suit for today. He's now at the inside of Vince-Odozi as they go through hairpin 2. You can see that pack of karts in front as well that we were just speaking about as they head down through the S's.
Yellow flags covering that part of the circuit as the rest of the field make their way through the S's. We're on board with Chrissy Harding. We've got Adam Thompson just ahead of her for second position in this race as Daniel Archibald starts to build a little bit of a gap. Now up to guard a corner. Chrissy Harding looking to set herself up for a move on Adam Thompson. Well, briefly, Harry Power goes down the inside and is able to squeeze his way through up a position as well. So he gets past Harvey Newton, I believe, and up into a 5th position. But Chrissy Harding still hassling all over the back of Adam Thompson, and Adam up into those top 2 places here inside of the first race of the day. It's not been a bad performance from him by any stretch of the imagination. This would also be one of Chrissy Harding's best results of the season.
Yeah, she is. She's never been this high up in a race before. Chrissy Harding, she's doing very, very well, running up in P3 here in split number 2. You can see further back down the field as well, Charlie Jackson is in a battle with Yachi Lowe, who is making his debut here at Buckmore, and Shankar Shan, I believe that is in front of him. So he is in the battle here for 17th position. Charlie was unfortunately caught up in an incident on lap 1, which ended up with Archie Prattley headfirst in the wall. It was a bit of a pinball effect going for the S's on lap 1, so that is why they've all dropped further down the field. Then you can see running on board with Chrissy Harding as they come to the end of lap number 3. She is right up behind Adam Thompson.
And this for the senior class win. It's a bit of a mistake from Adam Thompson, gives Chrissy Harding the opportunity to go through, and she gets through into the first hairpin. A mistake from Adam Thompson, opened that door up, and Chrissy Harding is in the senior class lead. Daniel Archibald, of course, a junior class driver. The overall position is what we really care about, though. But in terms of that class position, Chrissy Harding takes the class lead. Meanwhile, Harry Power all over the back once again of kart number 3. Adam Barras this time, who was your pole sitter but has fallen down a little bit. Charlie Jackson's also just been overtaken by Jungkyu Chan once again. Harry Power really hassling now and starting to put that pressure on Adam Barras, who'll be a little bit frustrated that he's fallen down a little bit in the first couple of laps of this race. Now Harry gets the run, looks to try and find some way through. I thought I saw a yellow light flashing there for a moment. I didn't, which means Harry Power is on leash to try and get himself ahead into Conway. So he'll show his nose down the inside line as Adam Thompson's got back through on Chrissy Harding. 2 moves made in the space of that first corner. Harry Power is up a position, Adam Thompson's up a position, but Chrissy Harding's got the overlap, tries to get back into that senior class lead. Adam's brave on the inside line, on the brakes into hairpin 2, but Chrissy Harding carries the speed around the outside line and is back into the lead of the senior class race.
Yeah, that's a good battle between those two. Like you say, they're battling for the lead within the senior class. Chrissy Harding never been in the lead of a race within class at all, so this is a great drive from her. Harry Power as well, aside from that takeout on that one, he has had a good start. He started down in 13th place in the grid, but he's now through on Adam Barras, and he is now running up in P4, I believe that is, as now Raj Kula is side by side with Ethan Vince-Odozi going through Garda, as these two are in the battle for 10th position. They are in different classes though, so this is not a fight for position as such. The head now down into Conway's. Raj Kula, look at the inside, can she get through? No, she cannot.
Let's look at this, going down into turn 1, a few drivers side by side. I can't quite pick out in the mess quite who that is, but definitely a pretty intense battle going on through that part of the corner as Raj Kula now goes down the inside line into hairpin 2. Bit of contact with Ethan Vince-Odozi, but nothing really doing there, and she's able to squeeze her way through and ahead of Ethan Vince-Odozi. So he falls down one position, but is back on the inside line for the S's and able to squeeze his way through. So as they make their way down the hill through the right-hander, Ethan Vince-Odozi is back up into that 10th position. But as we said, this is 4 overall positions and not class positions. These two being in different classes doesn't make any less of a cracking battle. As through the second S's, Raj Kula gets herself down the inside and is through.
Yeah, great battle this is between the two of these in 10th position. We've got, as you can see from the drone shot now, we've got Daniel Archibald, who's checked out at the front of this race. He's now pulled the gap to Chrissy Harding to 3.6 seconds. Just set the fastest lap of the race in the process as well of a 50.3. So these two doing very well indeed. And you've got this absolute train of cars, as you can see from this drone shot, which is led by Chrissy Harding currently in at P2. Then you've got Adam Thompson, you've got Harry Power, you've got Kieran Hyde-Moody, you've got Harvey Newton and Adam Barras all in this train of cars trying to get through into second position. But now, as we say, that Harry Power, he's now at the inside of Adam Thompson and he is through and he's up into P3. Good move that is by Harry. Now Adam's got a car on his outside, that's Kieran Hyde-Moody as they now head up Herbert's Rise, going through Cafe Curve, who's going to come out on top here between Adam Thompson and Kieran Hyde-Moody as they head up the 60 straight. That is Kieran Hyde-Moody coming through now and he's into 4th, and whilst we say that, Harry Power, he's at the inside of Chrissy Harding. That's 2 moves into 2 corners as Harvey Newton now comes through and Adam Thompson too. He's through up into P5. Now Chrissy Harding, she's back up the inside of Harry Power into hairpin 1. Good move that is by Chrissy Harding. Harry Power though, still on the outside as they head into hairpin 2, and now Kieran Hyde-Moody, he's getting in on the action too. Great move that is by Kieran.
Chrissy Harding is on the outside line. She's been overtaken by Harry Power, although retains the senior class lead. Harry gets himself through Adam Thompson, now brave on the inside line, can't quite squeeze his way past Harvey Newton, but will have an opportunity as they hit the brakes here into this part of the circuit. Adam's still behind Chrissy Harding, is under pressure and under enough pressure to, I believe, get overtaken. Back on the outside line, Chrissy Harding just about edges out the driver that was challenging her and is going to stay in the lead. That was Kieran Hyde-Moody.
It was indeed. That was a good move by Kieran up the inside of Chrissy in it to Garda. He tried to get through earlier in the lap and now he is through, going into top end as he's Harvey Newton and Adam Thompson. That's really unlucky there from Chrissy Harding. Didn't realise Kieran was on the inside there. She got pushed a little bit wide. No one did anything wrong there, but she has dropped a little bit down the order now. She's trying to get back past Adam Thompson as they head down into hairpin 2. Can she get the run on Adam as they come out down towards the S's? Adam, I think, may have the run on the outside, got a little bit better exit speed, and yes, he's managed to hold on there. So Chrissy has dropped down to 6th position now. It's Harry Power who's broken clear in P2. Does have that 30-second penalty though, so that will drop him further down the order come the end of the race, and it's now Kieran Hyde-Moody who is in 3rd place and leading within the senior class.
Yeah, Chrissy just actually waved Adam through there as they continued to battle on. I think she knew that going side by side wasn't going to help her case at this stage in what is a very long race. Already almost at half distance, 12 minutes still to go. So in other words, a normal regular EKS race distance still left to go, but Chrissy has now started to fall off the back ever so slightly. She's got to just hang in there, try and get herself back past Adam Thompson, still in this senior class podium hunt as she gets alongside Adam Thompson now on the outside of hairpin 2. We'll look for the switchback, but there down the inside line, out of pretty much nowhere, is Adam Barras. Gets his way through. I don't know where I was going with his name there, but he can't quite squeeze his way past Chrissy Harding through into the SES. However, it seems to be that if you get over aggressive at any point in this race, you do just start to drop down how close this field is, barring of course Daniel Archibald, whose gap now is 5.3 seconds, Luke.
Yeah, he's pulled a big gap, isn't he, out the front here on his EKS debut. Daniel Archibald, he is a local here at Buckmore, races in their Junior Club Championship, also races over in Club 100, so he's quite an experienced driver, putting that experience to good use in this race to pull that big gap. Kieran Hyde-Moody, though, he is flying in this race. He is yet again set the first lap of the race, did it on the previous lap, just done it on this lap too, and he is now up into P3 as he goes on the outside of Harry Power, trying to get through into second position there, but he isn't able to get through. In fact, Harvey Newton, who is teammates with Harry Power, he's instead managed to get through, and he is now up into P3, so that is a good overtake there by Harvey Newton. Him and Harry Power started down in 13th and 14th position, as that is, I think, Kieran Hyde-Moody again coming back around the outside. What a move that is by Kieran Hyde-Moody, set that up going through Bournemouth, and he is back through into P3. This is great stuff by Kieran Hyde-Moody. He's a heavy driver in this class. He's 87 kg, is far heavier than the drivers around him, but he is not letting that hold him back as he's back up to P3 and having a great battle with these two teammates.
Yeah, these 390s have a lot of power for four-stroke karts, and Kieran Hyde-Moody using pretty much all of it to squeeze through on Harvey Newton. Now tries to get himself ahead of Harry Power. To the outside line he goes, looking for that switchback, the favoured move out of hairpin 2, gets the run, and now he's got to look over his shoulder as Harry Power, but no way through for Kieran Hyde-Moody at the moment. Charlie Jackson's just been overtaken by Ethan Vince-Odozi, by the way, a couple of moments ago, and now Rod Coulard to look further behind in the field is putting the pressure on Andy Leister as they make their way through the S's. But we're going to go back to Harvey Newton because he's got still these two drivers for company, one of them being Kieran Hyde-Moody, who gets alongside very, very briefly out of Ghana, but isn't really able to do much with it in the end. Charlie Jackson now down the inside line. He's now through on Ethan Vince-Odozi. A tiny move there, but Harvey Newton is all over the back of Kieran Hyde-Moody. Through Conways they go, then turn 2 into hairpin 1, and Kieran Hyde-Moody actually had a little bit of a look at Harry Power very briefly, but thought against it, probably sensibly so thought against it. Harvey Newton still there, still stalking, trying to get that better run. Charlie Jackson, Ethan Vince-Odozi stay side by side further behind the field, and now Chrissy Harding and Adam Thompson resume their battle.
Yeah, so this pack of karts in the battle for second, they have broken away from Chrissy Harding and Adam Thompson, who are now running in 5th and 6th place with Adam Barras and Barney Williams for company. So these 2nd, 3rd and 4th place karts, they have broken away as Harvey Newton's still right behind Kieran Hyde-Moody, but Chrissy Harding now, she's up the inside of Adam Thompson. Can she get back into 2nd place within class? No, she cannot, as Adam manages to hold her around the outside there, going through Garden, now going up the Sicily straight across the start finish line. Is she going to look for the move here going into Conways? No, she is not. So these are staying in 5th and 6th place for the time being, as that's a move there by Adam Barras, good friends with Chrissy Harding. He is through, and he is now up into 6th position. Oh, it's a bump and pass. Is that by Chrissy Harding? I think it is. She just went into the back of Adam there and just fired him off there. So I think that will be investigated by the stewards, and yes, indeed, it was a bump pass, and she has just received a 5-second penalty for that instant with Adam Barras. A little bit unlucky there from Adam, and I'm sure Chrissy will apologise to him afterwards.
Yeah, so dramatic moment with 8 minutes to go in the race as Chrissy Harding, her progress is so frustratingly halted a little bit. Still on the back of Adam Thompson here though, and goes down the inside line. That's such a brave move. It was almost another bumper pass from Chrissy Harding, but this time it doesn't matter. She's able to get through. Let's go back on board with Harvey Newton because he's on the outside line of Kieran Hyde-Moody, who now is on the inside of Harry Power through into hairpin 1. Is there going to be this move? Harvey sets himself up to try and get himself through on both of them. Kieran Hyde-Moody is ahead. Now it's between Harvey and Harry as Harvey gets through and now goes underneath Kieran Hyde-Moody and up into 2nd position overall. What a piece of racing from Harvey Newton. Relatively clean between the three of them as well. A couple of bumps, I don't think anything that will be penalised, particularly as Harry Power now slots back in behind Kieran Hyde-Moody. That was fantastic.
Yeah, bit of contact, like you say, in that battle there, but it was all good in the end. I think those who made contact then received contact in return, and it all kind of evened itself out in the end. So it's Harvey Newton who's managed to get through now and breakaways. We've actually got a little bit of traffic here coming through the field. I believe that is Yachido. I'm not 100% sure. We'll be able to identify that in a minute once we can see their kart number, but they're doing a very good job here, running in second, third, and fourth place respectively.
Adam Thompson still on the back of Chrissy Harding. Won't be aware of her penalty just yet, of course, because that is something that will be made aware to the drivers a little bit after the race once everything gets sorted out there. So they're not aware of it just yet, which means this is going to be a battle effectively in his head for position. And of course, it will help him out a little bit. We think Kieran Hyde-Moody probably pretty comfortable in the lead of that race for the time being. When Adam finds himself alongside, Chrissy has to hit the brakes hard, but that forces Adam to get the run into Garda. He's on the inside line, but not quite alongside enough. It's Chrissy Harding's corner, and she takes it with gratitude. Harvey Newton now trying to get himself past Mark O'Grady. Unfortunately, has fallen down in this race a little bit, and the blue flags figuratively are flying, and he lets him through. So Harvey Newton now under pressure from Kieran Hyde-Moody, goes down the inside line, fires himself down the inside line. Harvey Newton's overtaken, but he goes back to the outside, trying to get underneath Kieran Hyde-Moody once again, and does exactly that. So Kieran just a little bit optimistic at that point in the race. They've still got Harry Power, of course, who's in his first year only of outdoor karting, just behind, and I say Harry Power behind. They've got just about half this grid behind them.
Yeah, these two still battling away, aren't they? Kieran Hyde-Moody looking up the inside of Harvey Newton again, going into Garden. He's now back through once more, temporarily up into second place in this race. Now side by side, heading up Herbert's Rides into Cafe Curve. Is Harvey going to be able to hold it around the outside here? I think he is, and in fact this may let his teammate through too. Harry Power up the inside, going into turn one. He is through too, albeit has that 30-second penalty. So it's now Harvey Newton in at second place. Now it's Kieran Hyde-Moody back into third place. Great move that was. Kieran Hyde-Moody straight back up the inside, going through Henry's Bend, and I think he's now through into second, is he? He is. What a move that was by Kieran Hyde-Moody. That is two people overtaken in two corners, both far lighter than him too. That was a great bit of racing there by Kieran Hyde-Moody. He is a track local, races here at Buckmore in a lot of their open races and in some of their championships, and he's done a great job there to make his way back up into P2.
Absolutely, and got some Club 100 experience as well as Kieran Hyde-Moody. So all these drivers experienced in various facets of racing. But Buckmore Park is a different animal compared to a lot of the tracks they will race at, as Harry Power gets the signal from his teammate to go together, so to speak, as we ride on board with Harvey Newton, who's still all over the back of Kieran Hyde-Moody. Into a hairpin one they go. Harvey's got the overlap, and he fires himself again down the inside line, and this time gets his way through. But Kieran Hyde-Moody is back on the outside. Through goes Harry Power on the inside line, gets past. There's a little bit of a nudge there, and furiously pushing ahead is Harvey Newton. Harry Power and Harvey Newton back into the positions they were just about a lap ago.
Yeah, Harry Power has actually just received a contact warning for that there, going through Herberton. That was a bit of a nudge out of the way there, so he's received a contact warning, which will give him a 1 point deduction after the race on top of his 30-second penalty. So not great driving standards here from Harry Power in this race. Hopefully things will improve as the day goes on. But shout out to Chrissy Harding, meanwhile. She is still running up in P5. Unfortunately, she has got that 5-second bumper pass penalty now for that incident with Adam Barras, but she's still doing a great job, all things considered, running up in 5th place, setting great lap times too. She's still quite new to outdoor karting. This is her first year racing outdoors, so she's doing a great job here, running up in 5th place. We've got more side-by-side action. You could see it briefly there on the drone shot. It was Kieran Hyde-Moody side-by-side with Harry Power then coming out of hairpin one, and they've held on 2 positions for the time being. Mark O'Grady, meanwhile, you may have seen him just a minute ago getting lapped. He actually had his crash helmet undone at the start of the race, so he by himself decided to pull into the pit lane and do his crash helmet on. Didn't want to carry on as it was. Obviously that is very much the correct thing to do, and it is a safety issue, so that is the reason why he's at the back of the field racing for Team 22 Racing today.
3 minutes to go in this race. It's flown by. Fastest lap of the race. You won't be able to see this, but I've got it on my screen. Kieran Hyde-Moody, he's the only driver into the 49s at this point. But Daniel Archibald, in an all junior top 3, is dominating. 5.5 seconds now to the good. Harvey Newton, second position. Harry Power in third. The battle has kind of evened itself out, but Harry Power and Kieran Hyde-Moody still very, very close together, and Kieran Hyde-Moody actually now just about getting himself ahead. Chrissy Harding, Adam Thompson, they still battle along, but Chrissy definitely looked to be the more comfortable of the two in that particular battle. We'll be keeping a handle and an eye on that into the last 2 laps or so of this race. Once they get to the line, it's 2 laps or so. This race might be 3 laps, depends on the pace of our race leader at this point in proceedings. Harry Power, can he get himself past Kieran Hyde-Moody, who's now back into 3rd position?
Yeah, then also whilst that's going on, Charlie Jackson's trying to get through and Raj Kula, but Harry Power, he's up the inside of Kieran Hyde-Moody and he is back through, like you say. So good move that is by Harry Power, up back in to 3rd position for the time being. Charlie Jackson, like you say, he has caught up to Raj Kula. He was involved in a lap 1 instance, so he's going to be doing a good job here of recovering through the field. Miles Harding, meanwhile, he's battling with Aidan Weller as he comes past now, and he is back through in 20th position. Both of these were tangled up in lap 1 instance, both taken out unfortunately. Neither of them was their fault, so both doing a good job here recovering through the field. Both are heavyweight drivers as well, both coming in over 100 kilos. So they're going to do a good job here coming back through the field. Good friends, both race together at Team Sport Crawley. But as we've got 2 laps to go now of this race, it is Daniel Archibald who has pulled a 5.5 second lead over Harvey Newton, but then Harry Power just about holding off Kieran Hyde-Moody. You can see him defensive now, going defensive from this drone shot into top bend, and Harry Power is holding on for the time being.
Holding on for his life through hairpin 1 they go, and we'll try and get an overlap with Kieran Hyde-Moody on the outside line into hairpin 2. That switch back that is so powerful, but Kieran can't find it this time by. So into the last lap of the race in about 50 seconds time. We'll see if Kieran Hyde-Moody can finally get himself back into that position. However, the senior class victory seems almost assured for him for now. Charlie Jackson and Raj Kula, similar story over there. It is one of the more minor positions, to be fair to them, but they've been stuck together for the last 5-10 minutes or so. Raj Kula in 12th position, Charlie Jackson in 13th, looking to scrap it out for what will still be a good handing of championship points, but I don't think they'll be too concerned. On to the final lap of this race then, and Adam Thompson under a little bit of pressure from Barney Williams. He has been overtaken now, but gets himself back through the centre chicane and into the final lap. We'll follow these guys as they make their way to the end. Harry Power back up the inside of Kieran Hyde-Moody, who did get himself ahead briefly. Will continue to follow these guys through as Harry Power has only got a few corners to defend now to try and get himself into that overall top 3 towards the end of this race. Adam Thompson falling down the field. He's now lost a position to Chris O'Connell as well, so the senior podium is slipping away from Adam Thompson at this point in the race. We're going to see a victory for Daniel Archibald very shortly. It will be checkered flag for him, but still time to work this out further behind. Checkered flag is in the air. Daniel Archibald is your winner. However, Harry Power drag racing to the line, gets himself ahead of Kieran Hyde-Moody. It will be Chrissy Harding who finishes in 5th position. Can Charlie Jackson get himself ahead of Raj Kula? We're right on board with him as they make their way to the line. Looks like, as Chrissy Harding's delighted, looks like Charlie Jackson can't quite get alongside Raj Kula, who does hold on to that 12th position. But for the longest race in EKS history, that was a thoroughly entertaining 20 minutes. Split 2, race 1 finishes with Daniel Archibald taking a comfortable victory of 7.3 seconds and earning himself promotion into the next race. Kieran Hyde-Moody is in 2nd position in the senior class with senior heavyweight Barney Williams in 3rd place for Fetiche Racing, Adam Barras and Adam Thompson, your top 5. Stuart Whiten is in 6th with Andy Leister in 7th. Chrissy Harding drives very well to get up to 8th. Raj Kula and Charlie Jackson the rest of the top 10. Ethan Vince-Odozi is in 11th position with Henry Walter, Yachi Lowe, Hugh Morriton and Harry Power, your top 15. Troy Fraser-McGonigal finishes in 16th position. Chris O'Connell battling with him for Odd Squad in 17th. Miles Harding, Chung-Hyu Chan and Aidan Weller, the rest of the top 20. Liam Healy is in 21st with Archie Prattley, Mark O'Grady and Harvey Newton making up the rest of your grid. The major penalties were Harvey Newton underweight in that race, getting a disqualification. Chris O'Connell receives 30 seconds and Harry Power also receives a 30-second takeout penalty.